This event has seen legends
completely humiliate themselves and make them look like desperate old fools, and coincidentally the worst WWE pay-per-view ever to take place. 3 years later, I still remember that god-awful tag team match.
that brings out the best.
No disrespect, but the only other time WWE events in Saudi Arabia brought out the best in the talent was the 2019 edition of Crown Jewel. The others, not so much. Try again.
You hurt my son.
Wait, hold up a second. Goldberg is competing in a match at Saudi Arabia that actually makes sense for existing? I must be in the wrong place. Sorry about... Wait, what? I'm in the right room? Huh. Well, color me impressed here. Well, WWE finally chooses to use a different theme song instead of bringing back Godsmack's When Legends Rise. And after hearing this song, I instantly want that old theme back. Sorry, it's just not that good. The Weeknd puts on great hits, but this ain't one of them. CGI magic carpets. What are the odds that they had to pay Disney a crap load of money just to make that Aladdin reference?
For the 50th time in WWE.
Since WWE seems to be obsessed with the number 50 when it comes to these Saudi Arabia events, maybe the reason we've seen 6 previous Hell in a Cell matches in the last 365 days was to ensure that this one would be the 50th. Also, if only Hell in a Cell since 2009 was treated the way this rivalry set it up, we would be watching the 50th Cell match in, let's say, 2035 or something. Although, with the amount of times we saw a Cell match this year, prepare to watch the 100th Hell in a Cell match in 2024.
Listen to me, Seth is at the house.
I get that Edge was freaked out about Seth Rollins invading his home, but he does realize that his wife Beth Phoenix could whip Seth's ass, right?
You, me, Hell in a Cell.
One of the most epic deliveries of Hell in a Cell since Triple H challenged The Undertaker at WrestleMania 28, but almost everyone's response to this was, "Aw shit, another one?" Now, come on, even if you're not a fan of WWE going to Saudi Arabia twice a year, I guarantee the one thing you were excited for is the amount of pyro that would explode for Edge at the event. And boy, was that awesome.
The trilogy ends tonight.
Well, unless we get more rematches with him since they both got drafted to Monday Night Raw, and that show is prominent for having rematches every week.
Is Edge 100%?
Well, he seems to be fighting as if he was at 100% health and seems fine throughout the match, so I'm gonna assume yes. Look, if we're gonna pull the "is this guy 100% card out of our ass," at least make Edge look extremely vulnerable heading into this Hell in a Cell match. This shot is so deadly and torturous, you can almost see Edge not grate Seth's face against the cage.
Do you want to enjoy?
Man, these are some of the weakest chair legs I have ever seen if they're that easily breakable. Imagine if Edge accidentally picked the stronger one and couldn't break it off.
Rollins is gonna try to take out Edge's eye.
After vomiting when he saw Rey Mysterio's eye poking out of his head last year, why the hell would Seth Rollins want to rip out even more eyes? Whose idea was it to prank the wrestlers into looking under the ring and finding absolutely nothing to use? Off sync, we want tables chant.
This structure has been synonymous with pain, brutality.
And in recent years, don't forget randomness.
This is Hell in a Cell.
Take it easy, Seth. Remember what happened the last time you tried to violently murder someone inside Hell in a Cell?
The chair that Edge introduced.
After his last 2 battles with Edge at SummerSlam and SmackDown, why would Seth take a sweet time in preparing his next assault? He even knows not to underestimate Edge despite his age and injury list.
I'm looking to plant Edge with his own move.
Giving this a double sin because there were 2 mess-ups in the sequence of Seth hitting the kill switch engage on Edge. The first being Edge dropping too early, and the second being Michael Cole labeling the move as Edge's own, likely because Christian is part of AEW and cannot be referenced for reasons I believe are very stupid.
Trying to knock him off the top.
Now, this will remove 5 cents from the counter because it was well done, the way Edge shoved Seth into the wall of the cage, who bounced off it and perfectly crashed through the table below. Now, that's the Hell in a Cell we should always be getting.
Mrs. Wild.
And another sin taken out for that brutal Edge-o-matic onto the stairs. Seth hits his head off the steel while Edge sadly impales his own ass on the sharp corner.
Look at the positioning now of Edge.
What a devastating super kick to the air. The match was picking up very nicely too. And then that happened.
Buckle bomb.
Buckle right infringement. And there are quite a few infringes throughout the last 10 minutes of the match, just giving a heads up. About 2 minutes of Edge having a staring contest with a table, followed by a ladder. Just saying, we got 8 more matches to go tonight, and I don't want to split another Saudi Arabia Sins video into 2 parts.
The night Seth Rollins defines his career.
Corey Graves really loves the jinx wrestler's momentum, am I right? Besides, Seth has defined his career several times already.
Another strategy.
Seth Rollins got flashbacks of his Hell in a Cell match with The Fiend and decides to get out of this by match stoppage. This trend probably doesn't say #1 trend in the United States because we're not even in the US right now. Since they like to do this by country, why doesn't it say #1 trend in Saudi Arabia or something? Edge is a dick to Seth Rollins. Gotta love the insane amounts of brutality shown in this near 30-minute match. These 2 deserve props for putting on a great Hell in a Cell match. As much as it was a great match, this last part deserves 2 additional sins. One for copyright infringement, and the other because Edge messed up and completely missed the right moment to stomp Seth's head into the chair. Look, I get that it was great for Edge to win this match, but why the pyrotechnic celebration? He didn't win a championship or save his career being put on the line. On a pay-per-view event, we are literally going through 5 minutes of commercials. Like, what the actual hell, guys? This ain't Raw or SmackDown. Something I will do here is remove a sin for this historic importance of Mansoor versus Mustafa Ali. It's the first time 2 Muslim wrestlers go one-on-one in WWE history, and the best part is the agenda was never forced down our throats unlike a certain WrestleMania main event this year. You just let the moment sell itself. That's how you make history the proper way. Although, sadly, this match ran under the category of we gotta put Mansoor on the card because it's Saudi Arabia, and unlike the previous times, Mansoor actually was part of the full-time roster and was in a fantastic tag team with Mustafa Ali. So why didn't they team up for the tag team titles or something? I don't know. So this guy went from being called Mustafa Ali to simply Ali to Mustafa Ali again to Mustafa Ali, and now he's Mustafa Ali. Some wrestlers have different name changes. This guy has different pronunciations every now and then. Previously on WWE.
From Riyadh, Saudi Arabia.
When the ring announcer has to introduce Mansoor before his music even hits, that's when the hometown moment feels extremely forced. And they didn't even do that the last few times Mansoor competed at these events. Given how predictable a lot of pay-per-view matches have become in recent years, I don't think DraftKings is exactly a good idea. Easiest $10,000 ever made.
When everything don't go his way, he complains, he lashes out, he gets frustrated.
Byron Saxton pretty much describing the internet wrestling community.
Wait, right there, Cole. Don't say it too loud.
Alright, that was hilarious of Corey Graves to bring up Mustafa being in front of them when Michael Cole was about to talk about how bad he is.
And now Ali again.
Mustafa Ali retreats outside the ring way too many times for my comfort. Can we, like, not do this all the time, please?
Mansoor Ali, second rope. Tornado.
Perfectly executed Tornado DDT without a doubt. One thing we can never deny is Mansoor's matches at these events are always fun to look forward to.
You are worthless!
First the non-stop monologuing and now begging for mercy. I swear if Mustafa starts doing copyright infringement next, he's activating all the cliches here. Well, we didn't do any copyright infringements in this last few moments, but Mustafa did activate a post-match assault sin. And honestly, I would not have done this. After the match ended, Mustafa Ali should have realized he was wrong about Mansoor, and the two go back to teaming. They were freaking awesome as a team, and it got destroyed for no reason. Stupid! I understand that this is a big deal to the Saudi Arabia fans, but this entrance is like 3 minutes long, and that's before the reveal. Also, this doesn't have a lasting effect going forward into the future, and was ultimately forgotten of almost instantly, so skip! What makes sense about this is AJ Styles and Omos wrote a rematch for the Raw Tag Team Championship after losing to RK Bro at SummerSlam. What doesn't make sense is they waited a full 2 months before realizing they had a rematch on their belt. Riddle's entrance on the camel was fantastic, and you can't change my mind. I love this dude and what he contributes to RK Bro.
You gotta try to figure out the riddle.
Wah, wah. On a side note, I hope this doesn't replace Cesaro doing the swing because then I will never bring this song back again. AJ Styles literally taken all the time in the world before choosing to tag in Omos. It worked at WrestleMania when it was Omos' first time competing, but it doesn't work now. And if that wasn't any more annoying, here we have Randy Orton tagging in and debating about whether or not he should enter. This match is only 8 minutes too, even with moments like these. Yep, so let that sink in.
Randy Orton with ease.
This is somehow too difficult for Randy Orton to escape.
Plus Pele.
When the Pele kick doesn't even connect with Riddle's hair billowing in the wind, you know it's bad.
Sends Styles right into Omos.
After it's always been next to impossible to knock Omos down, a small collision with someone as small as AJ Styles is somehow enough to knock him down.
I thought we were friends. We go all the way back to the old country.
Oh, Becky Lynch and this guy were friends back in the day. That's awesome. Let's hear their entire backstory. Nope.
You could lose your title without being pinned.
I am aware.
Becky Lynch would be great at CinemaSins 2 expansion. Seems like nobody has anything creative or original to say these days. Not even me. Alright, here we go. It is time for the SmackDown Women's Championship match at... Wait, what? It's not happening for another 2 hours? Then why are you hyping it up now? An hour into this 4-hour event, we still gotta wait another 2 hours for something we've been focusing on the past 5 minutes? The entire existence of the Queen's Crown Tournament. This sentence should be continuing with the phrase, was awesome, but their matches ended before I could even finish saying it. And because WWE rushed through this forced tournament and didn't give us reasons to care, here are 50 additional sins. Do it properly next time, or don't bring it back ever again. WWE is really trying to make DraftKings their new Hulu here. Still trying to piss me off on purpose, aren't they?
text from Eva Marie, by the way. She's making a movie now.
And it turns out making a movie is the only thing Eva Marie has going on for her these days about 2 weeks later.
Dewdrop says, don't let my son...
Dewdrop actually falls for this. It's the oldest trick in the book when it comes to heels hanging out on the ring apron.
Around and around.
What?
Now, can she somehow dodge it? Cold red!
I'm sorry, but none of this was logically believable. Given the major size difference between Dewdrop and Zelina Vega, there is no way Zelina could connect a sunset flip that easily. And even worse, this was somehow enough to win her the match? When the smaller wrestlers defeat the bigger wrestlers, you have to make it look believable, and this was anything but that. Guarantee if all of Goldberg's matches since 2016 made as much sense as this one and no titles were involved, we'd be completely fine with him competing occasionally against current wrestlers. It only took WWE all the years to finally do that.
Balls count anywhere!
Impromptu stipulations. WWE went into this night with the match simply being a no-holds-barred match before choosing to change it to Falls Count Anywhere at the last minute. They did the same for the main event too, but then changed their mind.
Because Falls Count Anywhere!
I've got a bad feeling that the commentators are going to keep repeating the Falls Count Anywhere stipulation, especially since it's an impromptu change to the match.
Goldberg is out of his mind!
Corey Graves' reaction to Goldberg wanting to be Universal Champion in 2020 at the expense of Bray Wyatt somehow makes its way into this pay-per-view event. Also, Bobby Lashley poses for multiple minutes on several corners. What's with the delay on Goldberg's entrance? We already know he starts it off backstage. And then it's revealed that the security was pranking Goldberg by locking him inside his room. Either that or Goldberg was clumsy in opening the door since he missed the handle.
He stays on the other side of the barricade with the other fan.
As much as Corey Graves is an asshole, he's also correct. Gage Goldberg shouldn't be crossing over into the ring regardless of his relationship to Bill. So yeah, it kinda was his own fault for jumping the barricade. Now, obviously Goldberg doesn't see the chain, but even I would take one look at Bobby Lashley having his back turned to me and figure that he's hiding some sort of weapon, and somehow Goldberg doesn't.
Is blind with rage.
Bobby Lashley checks under the ring for weapons, sees a table, and gives up after losing his grip on it one time. And whatever happened to his chain? Hornswoggle must be underneath the ring or something because there wasn't a single chair beside that table 20 seconds ago when Bobby checked the first time. Also, Bobby sees an additional chair under the ring and chooses to ignore it just like he ignored the table when it was the only thing underneath.
And now Lashley with the ladder.
Okay, if Michael Cole accidentally mistook the table for a chair, the botch would simply get sinned without a big deal. But come on, how the hell do you get a ladder out of something that's not even close to looking like one?
Inside the ring, competing every...
Bobby Lashley can't even get the table inside the ring. This match is really awkward to the point where even Goldberg is confused.
The Almighty doesn't have to do anything but whatever the hell he wants.
From that logic, Bobby doesn't have to do anything but also has to do anything. Whatever that means.
To surrender if this holds on.
Bobby completely misses the chair, which renders any potential impact to Goldberg's injured leg useless. I can't believe I'd say this, but I would take Goldberg hitting spears and jackhammers over this, because at least it'd be over and done with.
Lashley's up.
After all the damage that Bobby has done to Goldberg's leg, Goldberg temporarily turns into Seth Rollins and no-sells everything. About 2 minutes of Goldberg going around the ring trying to figure out what to do. Any day now, guys.
You're gonna pay.
Then do it already! Oh yeah, the Hurt Business is a thing again. Putting that out there for anyone who forgot, which is pretty much everyone. Oh, come on. Was it that difficult for Bobby to swing the kendo stick when he had the advantage? That was terrible. Cringe and awkward as this match was on several occasions, the ending was amazing. I'll take off a few cents because this shows Goldberg is still a safe worker despite the claims and shoved it right in the face of the haters, proving them wrong.
I don't have any grand master plan. My plan is this.
Oh, so Finn Balor doesn't have a plan to win this match against Xavier Woods, but he actually does have a plan? My head is hurting so badly.
And his opponent, weighing in.
Xavier Woods has been introduced with New Day for over 6 years to the point where the ring announcers completely forgot where he was built from.
Everybody at home knows exactly.
Sounds great. Can you tell us why you're walking down the ramp to the ring? It's kind of a long way and we're over 2 hours into the program.
Without Kofi Kingston, there wouldn't be a Big E as WWE Champion.
Wow, way to give all the credit in the world to Kofi Kingston for Big E's WWE Championship win and ignore everything Big E himself has gone through to get there. Asshole.
The likes of King Booker and Triple H and Kurt Angle.
If we're going to talk about King of the Ring accomplishments, why are you completely ignoring Bret Hart, aka the only person to have won the tournament twice? To me, that's more impressive than winning it once. WWE shows us as much King of the Ring CGI graphics as possible throughout this entire match, and it gets irritating.
No.
Finn Balor's shoulder is off the canvas throughout this entire pinfall, and the referee completely ignores it. What are the odds Michael Cole is going to give all the credit in the world to Kofi Kingston for Xavier Woods winning the King of the Ring tournament all on his own?
Two former WWE champions.
Michael, Big E is the current WWE champion, not the former. What, does he think Kofi Kingston won it back or something? Weird pattern going on here. Also, as exciting as it is to see Big E defend the WWE title against Drew McIntyre here tonight, the build-up was focused on them coexisting with each other in random tag team matches that went nowhere. That's not how you build up a WWE Championship match on pay-per-view. Rest in peace to all the fans in the audience who were impaled to death by the CGI swords. Oh, the horror. Since when did this title go back to the long-ass WWE World Heavyweight Championship name? Did I miss something?
I hope you know that. You hit?
Big E checking to make sure Drew McIntyre is not deaf after being around those fiery explosions by repeating, "You hear?"
We won't have a men's singles champion.
Corey Graves completely ignores the United States Championship currently held by Damian Priest. View of the Muhammad Abdul Arena, number 24,302. Expect 5,000 more times before we go off the air tonight.
Put McIntyre away. McIntyre, though, slips out underneath.
This match was decent, but I will take a sin off for the amazing athleticism shown by both Drew McIntyre and Big E. Like this example right here. Amazing.
Big E.
Honestly, that looked more like Drew pushed himself away from Big E for the joy of going for a ride.
Look at this. Ending.
Removing another sin for the great timing on the part of Big E to catch Drew McIntyre into the big ending, concluding this match with a, no pun intended, big ending.
All three women will be legal.
Well, duh, that's how a triple threat match works, dumbass.
Boss time. Love it when you say that, Michael.
Byron Saxon knows I'm watching this and wants to ensure I get extra pissed off at hearing it's boss time from Michael Cole. As always, you know I'm respectful of the laws in Saudi Arabia. Doesn't mean I agree with them. Shut up. But are the extra large t-shirts really necessary? If the women have to cover up their skin, can't they just wear full bodysuits like Alexa Bliss and Sasha Banks did back in their match at Abu Dhabi? Also, that one awkward moment where Sasha Banks is the only SmackDown wrestler competing in this SmackDown Women's title match. Meanwhile, Bianca Belair and the champion Becky Lynch are part of the Raw brand.
Always have to keep your eye on Sasha Banks, who's never met a...
Okay, I gotta admit that was awesome. The way Bianca Belair rolled over Sasha Banks, then collided into Becky Lynch. Good start so far. Hope I didn't jinx that.
The strongest in WWE.
Becky Lynch was watching Bianca the entire time and could have easily ducked at any moment. Hell, Bianca slowly spun Sasha Banks into Becky, so how did Becky not see that coming?
And look at Sasha in trouble.
Impressive to see Bianca hold up Sasha with one arm, but when you truly think about it, Sasha is keeping herself up in the air by pressing on Bianca's shoulder. Otherwise, she would have toppled over the moment Bianca let go.
Credited with helping change the...
Okay. That didn't really do much at all.
And Sasha grabbing the ankle of Bianca.
We made sure Becky wears a bright yellow shirt so that she stands out from the other two, and yet somehow Michael Cole still confuses her apart from Sasha Banks.
This is my title!
For now, it's your title. Must suck to be Becky knowing 24 hours later she has to swap with Charlotte Flair due to the draft.
That's strategy.
Really? All that build-up, both women hanging on to Becky Lynch who's pleading for her life, just for them to slowly bump her against the corner? Couldn't have lifted her high in the air and dumped her outside the ring?
Meanwhile, Sasha on the apron.
Oh, come on, that was even worse than Becky Lynch waiting to be knocked over by someone Bianca used as a battering ram. Yep, I jinxed it earlier.
This time it's Sasha Banks, though, back in the ring.
I am so confused on what's going on right now. Is Sasha trying to pin Becky in the air or something, using Bianca as the canvas? Whatever's going on, it didn't work out. Winner of Crown Jewel 2021 to bring you Night of Champions 2009.
Here by Sasha Banks.
Even after receiving that scar at WrestleMania from Bianca's braid of hair, Sasha still decides to mess around with the braid.
That being a... Oh, Banks!
Okay, I'll take off another sin for the creativity of Sasha using Bianca as a stepping stone to kick Becky off the ring apron. A lot of this match confused me, but not this part.
Oh, my Becky! God.
This double disarm her would look more impressive if Becky was actually standing on her knees like she normally does, because in this position, I don't think Bianca or Sasha are feeling any sort of effects at all, especially Bianca. Damn, all that effort in this match just to have an embarrassing title swap with Charlotte Flair the next night. We could have honestly avoided this by having Sasha win the title, bringing it back to SmackDown, while Bianca had won the Raw Women's title from SmackDown Charlotte Flair. You know, next time don't draft the fucking branded champions!
The most anticipated match of the entire year.
We've had matches like Roman Reigns vs. Edge, Roman Reigns vs. John Cena, Sasha Banks vs. Bianca Belair, Edge vs. Seth Rollins, and even Adam Cole vs. Kyle O'Reilly down in NXT. But this match is the most anticipated match of 2021, a match we've seen at literally 2 WrestleMania events. Also, missed opportunity to have this match be a custody of Paul Heyman match.
For the Universal title.
I'm taking out 3 Sins because the build-up to this match has been freaking amazing. You got Brock Lesnar trolling everyone, Roman Reigns getting mad and confused at Paul Heyman, and Paul Heyman being scared to death about everything. I love it! If there's anything that never gets old, it's the insane entrance of Brock Lesnar, and with his new hairstyle, he looks more intense and dangerous.
First match in 19 months.
Michael Cole thinks that 19 months of not wrestling will make Brock Lesnar rusty in the ring. If he can handle 7 to 8 months without competing, I highly doubt 19 months will hurt him. It's freaking Brock Lesnar! If you look in the crowd, you can actually see the greatest Royal Rumble Championship title, and it's already made more appearances than Braun Strowman's title. Unless that actually is Braun's title since he's no longer around. Given his experience with past matches against Brock Lesnar, gotta love the panic in Roman Reigns when he hangs onto the ropes in desperation to avoid the German suplex.
Top of the food chain.
That leapfrog was awesome and perfectly timed by Brock Lesnar. Still crazy how a guy his size can fly like that. Ha! Brock Lesnar tripped. Copy Reigns' infringement. The first 5 minutes of this match were great, but when Brock Lesnar started to slowly execute his suplexes and F5s, that's when things really slowed down. They honestly gotta stop doing the slow domination fest because it doesn't look that good anymore.
Second F5.
You could clearly see the referee spring up in the air before Roman's body could even collide with him. Also, the referee gets knocked over at the crucial point of the match cliche, exactly the same way it happened at Extreme Rules in 2012 actually. Huh, even Brock Lesnar remembers Extreme Rules 2012. Is it annoying when the Usos get involved? Absolutely. But you have to admit that this time it's justified, because Brock Lesnar was going to use the championship as a weapon behind the referee's back, and the Usos simply attacked to prevent that and even the playing field. Still sucks, but it's understandable this time around. But one thing I'll remove a sin for is Paul Heyman still managed to keep his allegiance a secret even after the match ended, to keep the questions going instead of flat out revealing it. Gotta love the great storytelling.